Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a cute little concept with you guys. This concept is a fun concept, and I think that you guys would like this idea. So, if you're interested in the video, let's get into this video. Okay, we're gonna start off with using this little cake board, and this is a 12-inch cake board, and it has 3 in here, but we're only going to use 1. So let's take these out of here. And I purchased this from Walmart, and I think they were like $3 or $4 if I'm not mistaken, guys. And this is the cake board that has like the silver on the front. I'm not going to point it directly at the camera because I don't want to blind you. Okay, the next item we're going to use is a wreath form, and I purchased this from Hobby Lobby. I can't remember. I think this is a 10-inch if I'm not mistaken. Then we're going to use these little bowls here, and I purchased these bowls from Dollar Tree. So let's get into this video. All right, first we're going to start off by building our base for our gift. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and place it I want this side to be facing up, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Next, I'm going to take one of the bowls and I'm going to try to center it. Get my ruler to see. Make sure I'm at least got it somewhat centered. That's 8.5. And that's 8.5. Okay, so let me see if I got it centered, guys. I meant 3.5. I was saying 8.5, but it's 3.5. I think it's going to be the center of it. Yeah, it's going to be 3.5, not 8.5. All right. So this is the center of this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hot glue, and we're going to glue this to the bottom of this. Let me put my little ruler there so I'll know exactly where I'm going to put it back at. And then what I'm doing is I'm just going to put glue all on the bottom because I want to make sure it adheres to the board here. And like I always tell you guys, be careful with the glue because I want you to get burnt. Okay, we're gonna try to let that dry. You know, the hot glue dries really quick. So let's go ahead and start building the inside of this container. The next thing I'm going to use is, I have a lot of goodies here. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. I have some Tiger Pops. And this is just little pop lollipops that I purchased from Dollar Tree. The next thing I have is some swirled heart pops. We may not need all of this, but I'm gonna try to get it all in. Take out some so we can start working on it. And these are little ring pops. I have some Sour Patch, the Valentines ones. Some Nerds. I just have like a bucket full of stuff here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in this container. I want to put a little shred in the bottom. Just a little bit. We don't need a lot. And this is about the amount that I have in there. So you can see that. All right, let's go ahead and start placing our items in. Like I said, we're going to make this into like a fun gift. And so I think I'm going to put the Sour Patch. What I'm trying to do is get as much as I can in this little bowl. I also have this little lip gloss from Dollar Tree. And I think I want to take it out of the pack so that I can get all of the items inside of here. And this is what it looks like. Cute little lip gloss. And try to get these nerds in here. Let's take some tape and put on the back of here. Let's see if I can get them in here, y'all. I'm just going to make my tape double-sided and put on the back of here because I want it to be in here. I'm going to try to put them in here as neat as I can, guys. The next thing I'm going to put in here is I'm going to put some little shaped gummy bracelets, and this is what this looks like. And I paid $1, not $1, I think I paid like 10 cents for these from Dollar General during one of their clearance events. So what I'm gonna do with that, I see a little tag on here. I'm just gonna snip this piece off. You could take like a heart or something and cover that up, but I didn't bring them in here. I have some, but I didn't bring them in here, so I'm gonna make this work. So what I'm gonna do is fold this back like this so that you can see the bracelets right here. So when the child opens this, they can see it. This one is gonna be for a little girl. And I just wanted to show you what I was working on. This is a gift you can give for someone's birthday. You can use this gift for any kind of stuff. And this I purchased. Next I'm gonna put this little keychain in here, and it's a little butterfly. So we're gonna put this inside because I want to try to keep this little gift fun. So I'm gonna take this little tag off. We don't need that tag and stuff on there. Trying to see where I want to put the bunny. I think I'm gonna put it right in the back here, because where I put the Sour Patch, because it doesn't go all the way to the bottom down here, it's a little space here. So I want to make sure that is visible, so when they're looking at it, they can see what's all inside of it. So let's go ahead and get this put in here. And the only thing I'm going to do is put it down here, and I'm going to put some tape here to adhere this to the little Sour Patch. Maybe. Let's see if I can get that on there, guys. How about a glue dot? We're going to use a glue dot for that. Let's see if I can glue dot it in there. Any kid would love this little gift. It's so cute, y'all. So that's what that's looking like in there. You can see the little keychain in there. And I just took it and adhered it to the Sour Patch. All right, the next thing I'm going to put in here is a little small box of Mike and Ike's. Put some glue dots. We can use the glue dots since I had them out. Let's see if I can slide this down here too. Just so you can see what's in. Make sure it's something down in there visible. Okay. Make sure I get the goodies in here. I'm going to be very generous with them. The next thing I'm going to put in here is a little ring pop. What else I got in here I can put in here for the kiddos? I got lip balm in there, so I'm not gonna put any more of that in there either. We're gonna put one of these little stretch balloons in here. What this is it's just it can pull at all different angles. So all the kids like this kind of stuff. So let's put this in here too. And I'm gonna fold that back. Take that down. So it looks a little neater in the bowl. Okay, let me take my glue dots. And put this down in there. And I'm gonna take the little lip gloss that look like a piece of candy, and we're gonna put that in there as well. Like I said, this is going to be loaded. This little gift is so cute. Quick, easy gift that you can make for kids or a teenager or for a boy or a girl. They're going to love. Well, can't use that. I'll just rip that open. Let's try to tape. All right, Victoria, be gentle. All right, the tape works better. And these are just the little heart lollipops. If you're a teacher, you can give this to your students, and they love this kind of stuff, y'all. This was a challenge that my daughter challenged me to do because I think she's seen the idea on TikTok or something, and she was just like, Mom, I know you can do that. And so I just wanted to show you guys. All right, I want this thing to be full of goodies. What else I got up here? Another ring popped at the bottom down here. I didn't want to use chocolate, guys, because I just didn't want to. But you can use chocolate if you choose. I think I'm going to put a little bit more shred right here in the front, just to build that up a little bit. This is adorable. What else I'm gonna put in here? I got a little diary in here, but I can't get it in here, y'all. It's too big. Let's see if I can get these little charms in here. And I got these charms for 10 cents from Dollar General during one of their clearance events. And these are little charms that you put on the little Crocs that the kids like to wear so that they can decorate them. Oh God, this thing is packed, y'all. It is packed, action packed. Okay, let me try to get that out because I want to get this in. All right. Put too much in here, and I want to be able to close the thing. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this confetti here and just sprinkle it a little bit around the edges. because I want to add some bling in here to make it shine a little. That's all I'm doing, is sprinkling a few on top, just so you can see them a little bit. When they open it up, they can see the little hearts in here, because I am making this for Valentine's Day. It'll add a little extra to the shred. So what I'm gonna do is take a glue dot, because they're going to the bottom like I want them to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a glue dot and put a few of the hearts in here, just so you can see them when you open up the gift. Another pink one and another red. So this is just something quick and easy. I just wanted to show y'all I was working on, because I accepted my daughter's challenge. All right, and this is what it's looking like, y'all. And the inside is so cute with all the goodies in there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're gonna put the lid on here. And that's why we needed the other bowl. So hopefully I didn't stuff it too much that I can't get the lid on. Let's see. It is a lot in here. That's all right. Let me stand that up a little bit. All right, let me get this lid on here, y'all. I almost stuffed too much in there, but that's okay. I wanted it to be full. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna put any hot glue around here. I'm going to use tape. And I'm just gonna tape the sides down. This is a transparent tape, so you can hardly see it. So what I'm doing is, and I'm gonna tape it down on each side. So I'm gonna put 4 pieces of tape on here. Let me do what I need to do to the other part. So what I'm doing is, I'm building my little, if you haven't figured it out, it's going to be a ring pop, guys. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to hot glue this ring to this. But before I do that, I need to paint this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and start painting this. Because I'm gonna paint a little bit on camera, and then I'll probably pause it, because I don't want to bore you with the painting process. So this is the paint that I'm using, and it's acrylic craft paint in pink. So get my brushes. You want to make sure that you keep your area covered, so that you don't get paint and damage your surface. So before I paint, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to measure where I want this to go. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my knife and I'm gonna cut a little piece here, just to make it straight and flat, because I don't want it to have that round look. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna have to take that much off. Just enough so to have like that flat surface here. And I took off about that much. So let me make sure it sits on there level like I want it. All right, I think that's gonna work. So let's go ahead and get this painted. Like I said, I'm gonna take the paint and I'm gonna stick inside of this little tray that the little ring pop came out of, and we're gonna go to work. And what I'm going to do is I'm not gonna put paint here on this part because I want to make sure it adheres to that board. So let me go ahead and do this. You can also use spray paint, but I have a bunch of paint in my room in there. It's another form of improvising that I always talk to you guys about. Like I said, you're gonna go all the way around, but you don't want to cover this little area over here that I cut. And this kind of paint dries pretty fast. Okay guys, I got it all painted and this is what it's looking like so far. And so what I'm going to do is allow this to dry and we're going to finish working on the other piece. So hold on just one moment. Okay, we're going to finish working on this. Okay, when you adhere the tray, make sure you can see me. When you adhere the bowl to the little board here, I want to tell you to be careful with putting too much glue down here, because if you're not, then the glue will seep out if you put too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some little embellishment here just to give this a little bit of bling, okay? So let's go ahead and start working on that. Let me see what I want to use. Right now, everything I'm doing now is by eye. I have never did one of these, so we're gonna see what it look like together, y'all. All right, let me see what I want to use. And these are like a multicolored, like crystal little pieces that you put on things to give it a little bit extra touch. So let me see which ones I want to pick out of here to use. I would prefer pink, but if not, I'll use the little round ones like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with adhering them to this. If I can get them to stay like I want to. These right here are more of a iridescent color. So let me see what they look like side by side. It might give it a little bit more extra when it hits, the light hits the pink. So let me take out some of these and we're gonna go from there. Like this part you don't have to do, but it's probably gonna add a little bit of character to the bowl here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some glue on them and we're gonna put them on here. I'm gonna flip them up. Well, I'm gonna flip them upside down and I'm just gonna glue them on. You don't have to have a lot of glue for this. I wonder if I have my E6000 glue over there. Let me see if this is gonna work. See, and that's what it's gonna look like around the bottom of it. So I may do a few on camera and I may go ahead and do the rest of them off camera. I just wanted to show you what I'm doing. Like this is a little step you don't have to do, but I'm gonna do it just to add a little bit more character to my design. I'm gonna add a few more and let you see what it looked like. And then what I'll do is I'll come back on once I get them all put on. Because this little step here can be a little tedious. So let's go ahead and get them on. You can also use any type of E6000 glue or anything like that to put on the bottom of here, but I'm just going to use my hot glue because that's what I have over here handy. What might be easier if I would have put the hot glue on there and then apply it then. Let me try that. What I'm doing is putting a little glue. It goes faster that way when you put the glue on there first. It goes a little faster. Like I said, this step you don't have to do, but I'm doing it because I'm being a little extra right now. You could put like some ribbon or something around it if you want, but I don't want the ribbon. I want to use the little rhinestones here. Okay, you guys, this part is now dry. So what we're going to do is attach it to the top of the ring. So this is our ring and this is our band. So let's go ahead and attach this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I attach it right here at this flat spot right here that I cut to make it flat. Let me show it to you. And we're gonna attach it just like that. And it looks like a ring. Okay, so let me go ahead and put the hot glue on here, and you could be generous with your hot glue. And I'm just gonna attach it. Attach it so it sits on there nice and straight, and I just got glue all over my table. Lord have mercy. You know, you're gonna get your glue strings, but you can get you a blow dryer or something, and that all of that stuff will come off. I'm just holding it a little bit to make sure it's on there pretty straight like I want it. All right, I think that's on there, guys. And this is what it looks like on the bottom. And this part here, the flat part here, has adhered to that flat surface. That's to make sure that it's, you know, has some balance to sit on. So this is what it's looking like so far. All right, let's see what else we're gonna do to it. Okay, guys, I think we're gonna take this, I think it's a 24 by 30, I think. And we're gonna attempt to put this cellophane bag on here. Like I said, it's on here, this little piece is on here very sturdy, so let's see if we can get this bag on here, y'all. You can also use a cellophane roll, which will probably be easier. I'm trying to turn it. There's a lot of air in it. Let me lay it down, y'all. Maybe I can get it on here better. But I'm fitting here pretty snug, y'all. So if you're using this kind of a bag, it's gonna fit in here nice. And what I'm doing here is just pressing the air out so that I can get it all the way up there to the top right here. also shrink wrap this if you want, but I'm choosing not to shrink wrap it today. And well, maybe. Let's see what we get first. And what I'm doing here is I'm just gathering at the neck because I think I want this part to be covered. You don't have to leave that part covered if you don't want to, but I think I want it covered. So let me see what I'm doing here. I got it in here straight. Okay. Go ahead and tie it around, y'all. I need to turn it this way so I can see what I'm doing. And the only thing I'm doing is I'm going to take this string here and tie it around here. And this is nothing but the string you use for balloons. I'm trying to get silver because I put the little rhinestones on there. So I wanted to do it in silver. The only thing I'm doing is tying the string right around the base of it right here. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to take it and loop it around again just for some security measures. You don't have to do this, but this is what I'm doing just to make sure that my cellophane bag does not move. And the only thing I'm going to do here is tie a knot. And that's how it's looking under there so far. Okay, let's work on the top now. Let's see how I'm gonna roll this stuff back so I can. So with this part here, I think I'm gonna trim some of that off because I don't want that much of the bag to be hanging out. So let's work on that part. And the only thing I'm doing with that is I cut about that much off the sides. And I'm going to take this and roll this part around this way and pull this back. So let me go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to cut a little bit more off over here. Okay, and this is what it's looking like on this side so far. Okay, let me go ahead and do the other side, guys. I'm trying to release as much air out of here as I can. And like I said, I'm just going to cut this at an angle, just to cut this little piece here off. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to move this part here forward and pull this back so that we get that finished look on the front that we want. You may have to work with it a little bit, but don't get frustrated with it. Just keep working with it. You can do it. Take my tape. Take my tape and pull it back. This is what it's looking like so far. And this is our ring pop. Let me go ahead and I think I'm gonna put a little bow here. I don't wanna put too much on it because I don't wanna overpower the actual ring. All right, let's go ahead and put a bow on here. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of tulle and put on here. And the only thing I'm doing with this is I'm gonna take some tulle and I'm gonna go back and go just like this because I want tulle on it, but I don't want it to be too much. I'm gonna take the tulle, put it in the middle here, and I'm just gonna tie it to this, the bottom, the base of this with the little string that I left on there. And I'm trying to see if I need more tulle or not, but I'll find out in just a second. Okay, I'm gonna cut the little ends, take my scissors and go in between where the little loops were, and we're just gonna cut them open. Go on this side and do the same thing. These scissors here dull as all get out. Okay, and this is what it's looking like so far, guys. Like I said, I don't want to put too much stuff on it because I don't want to take away from the actual ring. So let me put a bow on here and we're going to call this a day. Let's see if I want to take some silver or pink. Although I could put a pool bowl in here. And the only thing I'm doing is I'm taking it like this, putting the two pieces here together. And when you have a opposite side, you're going to twist. And we're just gonna make a simple bow to attach to that. And what I'm doing is, when I twisted it, I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing this ribbon is weird. I'm bringing it back like that. And I'm gonna twist it back around in the back. And that's gonna give us our other tail on this side. You wanna make sure your loops are, always make sure your loops are even. So doing it this way, you can see that those loops are pretty even there. All right, so let's cut our tail. Let me get, I can't with them scissors there. Okay, and I'm gonna take this little bow here that I just made, and we're gonna just attach it to this tool, y'all. Hopefully I don't have the bow too big. Sometimes my hands, my wrists be acting up and I can't make bows like I want to, like I used to be able to just do the bows normal. Use wrist, boy. All right, let's take this little bow. Let's see if I want to dovetail the ends and all of that. And what I'm doing is I'm just putting some little dovetails on it. I haven't made one yet, so this is my little demo. Just trying to see how it looks. Okay, I'm not even gonna cut these off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do them just like you do a balloon. I want them to be hanging off a little because they're silver. I didn't knot this thing, y'all. Let me knot this thing before it goes flying off of here. I thought I did. Oh, Lord. Let me see what my daughter's saying. I wish I could get a reaction on camera, but she ain't here right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the bow, just in the center of the bow to give it a little bit more character. And the only thing is I'm going to put a little hot glue on there and then stick it to our bow. See right here, I'm just sticking it to the bow right there. Make sure it's on there, y'all. That's the little piece I put in the middle, on the bow. And so this is my giant ring pop. And I just wanted to come on here and show you guys how it looked, how it turned out. Like I said, if you want to shrink wrap it, you can, but I chose not to shrink wrap this one. Maybe I'll try to shrink wrap the other ones and show you on camera. Okay, if you're new to my channel, please consider like, commenting, and subscribing. I would love to have you a part of my YouTube family. If you're one of my oldies, thank you so much for tuning back into another video. If you feel so inclined to do so, can you please hit that hype button? Because what that does is it pushes my video out into the YouTube world. All right, until the next video, you guys, you have a safe and wonderful day. Bye-bye.